What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the CFL podcast, where today we will be talking about the top performances of week one. Some of these guys on these lists led their teams in any statistical category, and at least one. So, with that being said, we got to talk about it because, man, there were a bunch. Some more than one people on the team. So it's like we got to talk about it. We got to bring light to these players because some of them just don't get enough attention. Keep in mind, this is in no particular order. No particular order. I'm not ranking it or anything. I was awed. I was in awe at every one of these players' performances. So I had to talk about it. Now, number one, Jawan Pass from Prairie View A&M. Okay, the boy went off in the 40-17 win versus Texas Southern. 25 for 37 on attempts. All right, 354 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, only one interception. Now, keep in mind the former Louisville player is very dynamic, has a very strong arm. And honestly, at the rate he's going, coming out the box like this, not only do I think is he going to bring Prairie View A&M to higher heights this season, I do think, even though he's a senior, he will be SWAC Newcomer of the Year because the boy is just that good. Keep your eye on Jawan Pass, all right? A.K.A. Puma, by the way, if y'all ain't know. Now, next up, we got Akil Glass. Should be no surprise here. We know what Akil does. All right, 28 for 49 on attempts. That's all right. That's a little shaky, but we'll work with it. All right, he is a gunslinger. 426 yards though. 4 touchdowns and no picks. You know why? Because the boy knows where to put that ball. The guy will be an NFL draft pick in next year's NFL draft. Now, he's gonna win the Walter Payton Award, in my opinion. He's gonna be a finalist for it, and I think he's gonna take that award home again. And keep in mind, the spin move. Y'all, we know he a passer. We know what he does passing, but the spin move that he had against that defender on South Carolina State to get into the end zone, I was like, wow, not only does the boy pass, he can run. He does it all. Now, next up, Shaq Davis. That's right. Shaquille Davis, man, had 5 catches, 140 yards, and he averaged 28 yards a catch. He averaged 28 yards a catch, all right? And he also had a touchdown. Shaq Davis is who I'm referring to when I said he needs more attention. Jacoby Durant gets attention from South Carolina State, and rightfully so, because the boy is a monster. But Shaq Davis is not talked about enough, and Shaq Davis will be talked about more on this channel because I don't see a lot of people doing it. A lot of people don't give me at football a lot of attention in general, but Shaq Davis is going to get that attention from me. Stop playing with Shaq Davis, all right? He's a bona fide NFL draft prospect, if I do say so myself. Now, next up, we got Kendrick Flowers. Kendrill or Kendrell. Homie, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I apologize. But let's talk about Kendrell for a minute, all right? 14 rushing attempts, 80 yards. Now, when you hear 80 yards, you're like, Kobe, that's not even enough. Why is he on this list? Because the boy had 3 touchdowns, and he almost averaged 6 yards on each carry. 5.7 yards was his average, but the fact that you were averaging almost 6 yards a carry means that you should have got more carry. Coach Pugh, you got to feed my boy a little bit more, all right? I get that you want to get the passing going. You know, you got Shaq Davis who doing this thing. Kendrick Flowers needs at least 20. He needs at least 20, all right? Averaging that much yards. 3 touchdowns though. He came up big in the nail-biter loss that they had to Alabama A&M, 40-41. But he has to keep his head up and know that he played a great game and he can take this momentum as well as the team of South Carolina State into next week when they take on Clemson, which is going to be a loss for sure. But, I mean, just keep the momentum going is all I'm trying to say. Now, next up, the only true freshman on this list goes by none other than Trevante Rucker from Jackson State University. We all watched the Orange Blossom Classic. We all couldn't wait to see it. Trevante Rucker was absolutely bodying upperclassmen players. I mean, every single pass that was thrown his way, aside from the first one that he dropped, it was a drop on him. But every single other pass, he caught in spectacular fashion. I'm talking about it doesn't matter if he had separation on the defender or not. If anybody who had went up with him was to try to take that ball from him, it wasn't going to happen. Straight 50-50 ball winner from the jump. All right, I cannot wait to see what Trevante Rucker does again. Like I said, 3 catches for 83 yards, and he averaged 27 yards per catch. Bruh, what more needs to be said? Trevante Rucker, for that to be your first career game and for you to make the impact that you did in front of in your home state, because he's from Florida, being a 4-star recruit, coming to Jackson State and making this impact, you deserve to be on this list. I had to put you on this list. Keep up the good work. Next up, Ron Hunt from North Carolina A&T. Now, yes, we know North Carolina A&T is no longer in the MEAC, but they still are an HBCU school, and they still deserve some love. And Ron Hunt, especially from that team, deserves some love. Now, keep in mind, they did lose 18-29 to Furman. It was almost a comeback, and a large part of that almost comeback was because of Ron Hunt, okay? 5 catches for 146 yards, and he averaged 29 yards a catch, okay? 29 yards a catch, almost 30. That is unheard of. Y'all, he had a touchdown as well. So, I got to put all his stats out there so y'all know what he does. In that comeback, every big play that needed to be made, Ron Hunt made it. Whatever DB Furman put on him could not do anything with him. The boy has speed, he has size, and he has great hands. Ron Hunt, take that momentum into next week, because you absolutely balled out and you deserve to get some recognition for it. Next up, Brian Jenkins Jr., aka Juice. How could we not talk about Brian Jenkins Jr.? Every time Akil Glass needs to find somebody, every time Akil Glass needs a play to be made, Brian Juice Jenkins, he makes it. And it was no exception in this game. He had 5 catches for 116 yards, and he averaged 23 yards per catch while also having a touchdown. In my opinion, the only reason why his stats wasn't even higher than that was because Alabama A&M just has a whole selection of receivers to choose from. I mean, to me, that's the only reason why he couldn't have more. Now, I will say this: you love Brian Jenkins' attitude. You love the fact that he talks trash and he backs it up. You love how hype he gets after he makes a play. That is why I had to include him on this list. Not only because of his performance, because we all know the boy can play, but also because of that nasty spin move he had on the South Carolina State defender as he was scoring the touchdown. Man, this boy, Superman changed in the phone booth. All right, that applies to him. Superman changed in the phone booth. What I mean by that is that you cannot touch this boy at all. In a tight space, in an open space, you will not get a hand on him. Y'all gonna have to gang tackle if you want to catch him, because 9 times out of 10, he gonna make that first defender miss every single time. So when you see Brian Jenkins Jr. again, just remember, Superman changed in the phone booth. Last but not least, as a matter of fact, we have Gary Quarles, all right, the running back for Alabama A&M. Alabama A&M's offense is just something lethal, okay? And I'm going to continue to say that, because not only do you have the wide selection of receivers, but now you also have a running back who can get it done as well. Gary Quarles, man, on 22 attempts, he had 129 yards, and he averaged 5.9 yards a carry. Almost 6 yards a carry. There is not a coach alive that would not care for a running back who averages 6 yards a carry. Why nobody talked about that is beyond me, okay? Like I said, they came out with a close win versus South Carolina State in a very classic game. The final score was 40-41. Yeah, and he also had a touchdown as well. He was running through that defense like Chuck E. Cheese ice cream through a lactose intolerant toddler. Y'all, this dude, man, absolutely went off. And because Alabama A&M is known for their passing attack, I feel like he wasn't going to get a lot of attention. And Gary Quarles deserves that attention. Gary Quarles is electric, man. I'm talking about just up through the middle, too. This wasn't even him bouncing to the outside. He was running up the middle and making people miss and churning for these yards. Like, bro, I was just thoroughly impressed with all 8 of these guys on this list, and I had to make a video because, normally you don't really see, you'll see on the FBS level a lot of players, when they ball out, they get attention on SportsCenter and other channels on YouTube, as a matter of fact, for their performances, but not much people really do it, for at least not to my knowledge, because I don't want to undermine anybody, but I don't see a lot of people doing it on SWAC and MEAC players or just an HBCU player in general. So I wanted to be the one to do it. So let me know what y'all think about this list down below. Did I miss anybody? Let me know down below. If I didn't, let me know what y'all think. Do y'all agree? Do you not agree? I'm gonna try to do this every week because I want to, I want to do something else as well. I want to start new things on this channel as well. So I'm gonna be trying to do top performances on a weekly basis after everyone has played a game. So y'all, like I said, let me know what you think in the comments below about this list. I really appreciate y'all for watching the channel and for continuing to share my videos and like them and subscribe. Y'all are very much appreciated, and I always want y'all to know that. With that being said, I go by the name of Kobe. You are watching the CFL podcast, and I'm out. Peace.